Welcome to Celestial Zodiac. This is your weekly horoscope for Sunday, January 11th to Saturday, January 17th, 2026. This week emphasizes adjustment, clarity, and steady forward motion. After the initial push of the new year, the energy now asks you to refine your plans rather than rush ahead. You may notice where expectations need to be adjusted or where boundaries need strengthening. Emotional awareness increases, helping you make more grounded choices. By the weekend, things feel more settled and confidence returns through clarity rather than force. Hello Aries. This week begins with a strong desire to move faster than circumstances allow. Early on, you may feel impatient with delays or other people's pace, especially around responsibilities or goals. Midweek brings a realization that slowing down actually gives you more control, not less. This is a good time to restructure how you're using your energy instead of pushing harder. By the weekend, you feel more focused, grounded, and confident about your direction. Welcome Taurus. The week opens with a need for stability and reassurance. You may feel focused on finances, routines, or long-term security, wanting proof that you're on solid ground. Early reflection shows you where simplifying will reduce stress. Midweek conversations or decisions confirm that steady progress is being made, even if it's subtle. By the weekend, you feel calmer, more secure, and more trusting of the path you're building. If you are a Gemini, this week starts with mental busyness and competing priorities. You may feel pulled in multiple directions, especially through communication or obligations. Early on, it becomes clear that not everything needs immediate attention. Midweek insight helps you clarify where your time and energy truly belong. By the weekend, your thoughts feel lighter, your plans more manageable, and communication flows more smoothly. For all Cancers, the emotional tone of the week is heightened, but it's informative rather than overwhelming. Early in the week, you may notice how strongly your environment affects your mood and energy. Taking time for rest or emotional reset is essential. Midweek brings healing through reassurance, understanding, or a supportive conversation. By the weekend, you feel emotionally steady, safe, and more confident in your choices. Hello Leo. This week begins with a subtle check-in around self-worth and pressure. You may realize you've been pushing yourself harder than necessary to meet expectations. Early reflection highlights where confidence has turned into self-pressure. Midweek brings clarity that helps you reconnect with motivation rather than obligation. By the weekend, creative energy returns and you feel more aligned with your authentic self. Welcome Virgo. The week opens with a strong focus on organization and efficiency. You may feel motivated to clean up routines, schedules, or lingering responsibilities. Early adjustments make a noticeable difference in how manageable things feel. Midweek brings a practical breakthrough that simplifies something you've been overthinking. By the weekend, you feel capable, grounded, and confident in the systems you're building. If you are a Libra, this week begins with an awareness of imbalance in relationships or commitments. You may notice where you've been giving more than you're receiving. Early conversations encourage honesty, even if it feels uncomfortable at first. Midweek clarity helps you make a decision you've been postponing. By the weekend, you feel more centered, emotionally aligned, and at peace with your boundaries. For all Scorpios, the emotional tone of the week is focused and introspective. Early on, you may recognize a pattern related to control, trust, or emotional intensity that's ready to shift. Reflection helps you understand what's truly driving your reactions. Midweek insight empowers you to respond calmly rather than forcefully. By the weekend, you feel grounded, strong, and more in control of your direction. Hello Sagittarius. This week begins with a reassessment of goals and expectations. You may feel uncertain early on, but that uncertainty helps clarify what needs adjustment. Midweek brings inspiration that refines your vision without pushing you to overextend. This is a week to focus on what's realistic and meaningful, not just exciting. By the weekend, optimism returns with clarity and purpose. Welcome Capricorn, the week opens with responsibility and long-term focus front and center. You may feel pressure to keep everything moving smoothly, especially for others. Early reassessment helps you prioritize what truly deserves your energy. Midweek grounding comes through personal insight or family-related perspective. By the weekend, you feel steady, supported, and confident in your long-term plans. If you are an Aquarius, this week begins with questions about alignment and purpose. You may feel pulled to reassess whether your current path truly reflects who you are becoming. Early conversations or realizations shift your perspective. Midweek insight helps you realign goals in a way that feels authentic rather than expected. By the weekend, you feel mentally clear and ready to move forward intentionally. For all Pisces, the emotional tone of the week is intuitive and reflective. Early on, you may feel drawn inward to process thoughts and emotions quietly. Reflection or creative outlets help bring clarity. Midweek reassurance eases a concern you've been carrying beneath the surface. By the weekend, you feel peaceful, inspired, and emotionally balanced. To conclude, this week supports refinement, emotional clarity, and steady progress. By adjusting expectations and strengthening boundaries, you set yourself up for sustainable momentum. Trust the process. Clarity now leads to confidence later. If you enjoyed this weekly horoscope, please like, subscribe, and share. It truly helps support the channel and keeps these readings coming every week.